the day after we played D&D.
Okay.
So last time I played D&D with you guys, I was in a warehouse, right?
Yes.
Well,
And hello.
Hello!
I'm here.
I can't see you yet, but that's okay. So, the next day, I was teaching classes, which is why I was there, was to teach classes. And I had a lady come in. And the reason why I was there is because the original manager who was there got COVID. So he was out for 2 weeks. So I go down there to teach his classes for him. And one of the ladies that came physically into class, we only have ever like 3 or 4 that come into class physically, and they all, sit far away from each other and wear masks like they're supposed to. But one of the ladies came in, and she was asking about Dirk, and I said, he's doing good. He's just, waiting the 2 weeks, he had a mild case, which he did, which is good. And then she goes on to tell me how she had COVID 2 months ago. And I was like, oh, how did that affect you? And she's like, well, it's still hard to breathe sometimes. I get a little winded. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm so sorry. And then not 10 minutes later, she tells me that COVID is a hoax.
Sounds about right.
And that's not even the wildest thing she said. We were talking about Betty Boop because that was part of our class. One of the songs that Betty Boop sang, "Button Up Your Overcoat." And we were talking about it, and she was like, I miss cartoons like that. Cartoons nowadays always have like an agenda, and they're just rotting kids' minds, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, I could see that. You're, more traditionalist, traditional values, and getting kids to think. And she was like, yeah, we got on a conversation, and she said, I blame where we are now culturally on the liberation movement. And I was like, what? And she was like, women's liberation shouldn't have never happened. She said that to me. She was like, most trad housewife ever, and apparently she didn't want girls to start wearing pants because she was old enough to watch the 70s women's marches happen. And it is just so wild that she was like, that should have never happened. Women should be in the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck? Who are you, old woman?
What in the
Send her a Facebook friend request.
Oh,
More of that.
More of that, please.
I just have so many questions.
I was so, because, I have to be nice. I can't, continue down this line of conversation lest I yell at an old woman who's possibly going to buy instruments from us at some point. So I just kind of had to steer away from the whole conversation, just like, oh, so anyway, for class today, just like hard dodge. No thanks. This isn't anything I want to talk about. Goodness gracious.
It was so awful when I would cut people's hair and they would say stuff like that, because it's like, I'm doing your fucking hair and you're an awful person, and I don't want you to know that I think you're an awful person, and I'm not going to mess your hair up, but I sure want to. Like,
I just want to give them a mullet.
You're a dick, and I don't want to make you pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to be as ugly on the outside as you are on the inside.
Like, I don't want to trick people into thinking you're nice just because you got good hair.
Right.
Oh, goodness. I love that very much. I
miss you, Cody.
Hey, Michelle, do you work tomorrow? Please say yes.
Yes, and I'm so excited.
Thank God. Is tomorrow you were there today?
I got to go back Monday because I got my second negative test results Sunday and got a hold of HR and Renee and yeah. Guys, I did not work from December 30th to January 18th.
Damn, that many days in a row.
Michelle sat in her house and did not see a human being or work
for like
3 Bitch, where was my FaceTime then?
Yeah, how did you keep you from losing your mind?
I'm pretty sure I did, and I bought new pants, the same size pants that I've been wearing. Can't button them or zip them. Like, I gained another like 5 or 10 pounds from eating pizza and drinking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hell yeah, worth it.
Playing on my fucking phone. I played a game on my phone so much my thumb started to hurt.
Awesome intervention.
It's like a Farmville game. It's like the stupidest fucking mindless bullshit. I spent like $20 on there because I'm an idiot. I just tell myself, like, I don't buy game systems. I don't buy games. It's okay that once or twice a year I spend like $20 or $30 on these stupid fucking piddly games, but I also know like what that could do to. Like, I'm aware of the path that could take me down, and I'm not going to be some like Candy Crush poor lady when I'm older. Like, I spent all my fortune that I never had on Candy Crush lives. I'm not going to be that guy.
Well, you got to get those extra boosts. It just makes the game more enjoyable.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Then they make one level so hard that you have to buy at least something to make it happen.
Exactly, and I'm smart enough to see through their bullshit, Josh. I can tell when they give me 5 easy ones and then a hard one. And it's one of those where you get 5 lives and then you have to wait for the timer, just like Candy Crush. You have to wait for the timer to get more lives. So I'm sitting there like fiending with nothing to fucking do. Matt and Maddie are both able to work and go to school from home, but I can't, so I'm just stuck here. Not a good time.
Go back to your own side.
You gotta mute your, you unmuted on the L side.
See, her story was extra boomy.
It was perfect. It sounded like the voice of God telling me not to play Candy Crush.
Do not play Candy Crush. That is like crack for your eyeballs and fingers.
I beat Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh, man, I've been
playing that.
Yeah, I've been playing the shit out of all the side quests. I haven't played in like a week, to be honest, but
yeah, I'm side questing the fuck out of that game.
Yeah,
I've like done 2 story missions.
For some reason, like,
I'm gonna tell you, you probably already know this, but do that. Do what you're doing, because the story is very short, and if you don't do enough of the side quests, you just default to the like shitty ending.
Okay. I legit have not finished Skyrim.
That's honestly like a really good analogy for life in general. Like, I think you just gave like a 2021 version of Stop and Smell the Flowers.
Welcome to my TED Talk. Do all the side missions.
Yeah.
I for real have never killed Alduin in Skyrim, and I've literally probably got like 200 hours in the game.
All right, you probably need to do that.
It's about the journey and not the destination.
It's too late now. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, I've killed Alduin so many times. All right, should we play some D&D?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are we ready?
One of my favorite. This is quick, but one of my favorite things to tell you is I have never read the very last page of the last Harry Potter book. I have never turned to that page. I have never read one word on it. I was so uncomfortable and unhappy with the ending that I didn't want it to end, and it wasn't going to end, and I wasn't going to do it, so I've never read that page.
Oh, that's the most frustrating thing you've ever said to me.
And I've read the series probably 2 or 3 times, and I've never.
Oh, that makes me hate so much. My ex-wife was exactly like that when I first met her. She was like, there are so many podcasts I just didn't listen to the end to because I didn't want to hear the end. I didn't want the end of the story to be bad, so I didn't want to acknowledge that it was over. And I was like, I am so mad right now. I'm furious.
Sounds like a lot of denial.
Exactly.
I just
got finished and let it become part of your life.
No.
I don't want it to be over.
Yeah, but all good things. That's why things end. The finales are the best part.
Well, here's what we're gonna do for D&D. Instead of a recap, I will be reading the last page of the last Harry Potter book.
I quit. How do I unfollow? Unsubscribe?
You know what's funny is I don't think you could do it fast enough because you'd first panic and close your own computer once I started reading, and then you would realize the sound is not coming out of your own computer.
It's true. Matt would probably turn it up knowing him.
Good. My man. All right. After smashing a bandit extortion operation, the party continued on the road to the Bone Lord's Cavern, where they were hoping to make names for themselves. Ways down the road, the party happened upon a gnome merchant by the name of, and I couldn't remember what I named this guy, so if anyone wrote it down, tell me. If you didn't, his new name is Pimplepot.
Kinlo.
What was it?
Kinlo.
Kinlo. All right. It's Kinlo now. His last name is Pimblepot.
That's right.
And it was the whole time.
The court will
Kinlo
allow it.
Pimblepot.
Speaking of which, while we're out of character, well, never mind. We'll get to it. Go ahead, finish the recap. I don't want to.
After a pleasant conversation, the group agreed to help escort the merchant to Shepshed. I also didn't remember the name of the village I gave you. So it's Shepshed now. The village down the road to sell his spices after they cleared the cavern. In exchange, Kinlo would also buy anything they pulled from the cavern from them. After reaching the cavern, Svayo heard some weird rumblings from an off-branch of the cavern. After going in, they met the feared spider, Menja, who was said to still be living in the cavern, the pet of the long-gone Bone Lord. After much battling, Svajo obtained a bound and chained book that made it known to him that it would like to be signed. Bruno found a note on a recently killed halfling who was trying to use this side tunnel, along with the goblin escape tunnels carved into the Bone Lord Cavern, as an escape route to avoid an ogre who was supposedly blocking the entrance. After connecting with the main cavern, the group finds a pair of goblins, and Kenzo, in Goblin, orders them to start mining for them. They hesitantly oblige after being intimidated to do so, and they begin taking their swords to the stone. And that is our recap. So we find ourselves here. Shift click. Boom! You guys are all there. The goblins are mining. In the room previous to this, you found... I'm trying to think if there's anything I need you to remember. No, you kind of find yourself in the Bone Lord's Cavern. It used to be a mine, got taken over by the Bone Lord, who ruled out of it for a short time before he was killed. That was about 100 years ago or so. You found his bone pit, where a goblin jumped out and stabbed Grendel. You also found kind of where the goblins have been staying. Dusty casks let know that not very many people kind of stick around here, but the goblin tunnels kind of dug all throughout the Bone Lord Cavern let you know that this has been a place that keeps getting infested by goblins, and they keep kind of digging more and more tunnels so that they can get around the different locations quicker. You also found big pieces of fresh meat with long, sinewy hairs kind of hanging off of them. It was determined that it was not human meat.
Not people.
Not people. Svayo, did you have something to say?
Oh, well, on the meat, I think we figured out it was horse meat, maybe, or we were guessing. But then once we're actually as a party in character, I have a question, or we can do it meta style. But
however you want to do it. I have done the recap. The buck has passed.
so okay, so we're still within both sight and hearing range of these goblins, right?
Of these two goblins, for sure. They're just kind of like looking at you, waiting for you to go away, muttering to each other. Kenzo, you recognize they're kind of muttering in goblin some profanities. And they're trying to dig into this mine and go into this already long dead vein. But they are wielding short sword and a spear, so it's not really going too well for them.
And all that conversation happened. All that conversation happened in Goblin, right?
Correct. You pretty much saw Kenzo stand up really strong and mighty with his shoulders back and begin speaking in kind of a higher pitched, squealy, gargled voice. And then the two goblins like bickered with each other. And Kenzo showed a fist, and they picked up their weapons and started picking at the walls.
Real quick, would I know or assume that these goblins also understand Common?
You would assume they... Let me look. Do goblins? Yeah. Yep. They can understand Common, whether they can speak it or not. Who knows?
Up to them, okay.
Some goblins do, some goblins don't.
Alright, so I'm going to say out loud to the party, just loud enough so that the goblins can hear as well in common. Alright guys, I set it up so you can't leave this room without the password. And I wink at the party and not at the goblins.
You hear them kind of look at each other. Do a deception check.
Let me get my dice out. Actually, let me just roll it in here for you guys. We should do it that way, I think.
Absolutely.
What did I get? Where's my deception? What did I roll? It's a 10.
A 10 total? Yeah, they kind of, you notice they look at each other with shifty eyes and then kind of look down the hall to see if there's any traps. And you notice they kind of steel themselves to a little harder work resolve. They start digging their swords a little harder and prying rock off of the edge of the walls.
Kenzo affords himself a sly smile as he kind of like continues on.
There we go. Anything else anyone else would like to do while you're here, or go backwards, or go forwards?
I'm ready to move forward into the cavern.
Yes.
Let's do it.
You are ready to move forward. As you kind of all as a group march farther up the cavern, you get to about here when you notice wrong layer. Layers, guys. Layers.
Don't forget your layers.
Boop. 2 more goblins. They stand at the edge of a... some of these are holes, and some of these are not. So the ones that you guys are standing by are kind of pillars built up through the stone all the way around, and it's kind of a winding cavern. Here next to these goblins, you see 2 goblins pointing at each other. One points down the hole with a stick and says, in Goblin, so Kenzo can understand it, says, how deep do you think it is? And the other kicks a stone down, and you hear so they're just standing next to, and they continue to kick stones down the hall, which you hear clamber off the sides, but you don't hear hit the bottom. And you can kind of see a little bit farther down here. Boop. And here you would kind of see, we'll say this much.
You said they're kicking stones down this pit right here?
Correct, and they have not noticed you yet.
So, I run up as fast as I can, right behind this goblin here, and I say, why don't you find out? And I give him a shove.
Hell yes. So, Svayo, go ahead and, do you want to jump down? So this is a little bit of a ledge. You can either take the ladder down very quickly, or you can jump down straight onto the ground, which is about 10 feet down, or you can kind of bounce off these crates, which would make a little bit more noise, but would be negligible to any fall damage or anything like that. How does Kenzo bound down this 10-foot?
I mean, so I would see him go to shove one of them in and do quick math and be like, hey, there's one more, and sprint and try to probably, like, because I feel like I would be playing catch up with him, because I'd be reacting to him, I'd probably do like a jumping, leaping kick to the back of the head of this guy to knock him down in there too. Knock them both in.
Yes. Heck yes. I meant Spio, but that's very...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said... No, you're fine. I said Kenzo. That's
Okay.
very much what Kenzo would do.
Okay.
You're also doing that.
Okay.
Spio, how do you get down?
Okay, so really, I think he would probably run down the. I guess you can't see me moving my character back and forth. He would run down the little steps.
Down the crates?
Yeah.
Perfect. So both of you go ahead and make. There's not CMB, CMD in 5e, right? You can just push someone as an attack. Is that correct?
For 5 feet, I believe. Yeah.
We're going to say that that's what it is for right now. So both of you go ahead and make attack rolls, and Kenzo roll acrobatics for me. Or athletics, whichever you would prefer. However Kenzo gets down.
I think I get down both ways, but I'm about to find out. Acrobatics. That's the way I get down. That's a 16.
Yes. Right. What are those attack rolls? Is that an attack roll, Spio?
Okay, so do I still apply proficiency to this? Like my just regular modifier, like a generic modifier?
Oh, that's a good
What are you
question.
attacking with?
I thought we were
Are you
just
just
pushing him.
shoving? Then
Yeah,
it's
he's just shoving.
unarmed.
He's using his unarmed, which I
think
don't.
So?
I'm gonna say yes.
My,
So add your proficiency.
My friend Andy is watching the stream. He's probably about to say it right now. He's like my longtime DM.
Deal. I am not a 5e DM, so if he knows rules, you can totally
He knows
convey
this
them
for
to me.
sure. He knows this for sure.
Well, if he has how this should be done, let him know to tell us.
Give a little chat delay. Give me a little chat delay. I bet he's about to type it. He's probably I was literally just chatting with him like 30 seconds ago. He probably just stopped watching or had to do something. Like take care of his child.
Backseat DMing.
He said, "I'm not saying LOL."
Deal.
Wow.
All right.
What a
So
guy.
yeah, go ahead. Just to speed it up, I'll let you use proficiency bonus
Think it
and
is.
strength mod.
So they are gonna offset and give me +1.
Perfect. So that would be a 13. And Kenzo, why don't you roll an attack roll to hit this feller?
Well, there I go down the hole.
You're not going to go down the hole, but both of you do not hit these goblins as they kind of sidestep. As soon as I'm on the right layer, here we go. They both sidestep out of the way, and the two of you move kind of to take their place, perched right over the hole. And in doing that, we will start combat. So everyone roll me initiative. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I don't need the help tab. Thank you. I know what I'm doing on roll 20 at least.
19 for Bruno.
I got a 20. I think there's actually a way you can let us type in our own initiatives. Oh, that's
Yeah,
only if we use.
I just did it.
I can't do it though because I don't use a Roll20 character sheet because I'm the worst.
There's actually, with Roll20, there's a way from your character sheet on Roll20 that you can roll initiative straight to the turn order.
Oh.
But I figured that's a little too advanced for people who have, first off, never played D&D, and second off, never used Roll20.
Can I just hit next?
Yeah, I was looking at macros a little bit to see what kind of use there is there.
Oh, there's a bunch of functionality. Whether it works all the time or not is another sentiment. But there's a lot of stuff you can do. I need to roll the goblins. Gerblons. Gerblins are gonna get dose. Okay. So, L, Kenzo, and Spio, you can add your number to the turn order.
Oh, I forgot we were supposed to do that. My bad.
Oh, you're good. No problem. No problemo. When the fight starts, I will tell you. Actually, I won't tell you yet. I won't.
Rude.
You'll know here shortly. And I'm still waiting on Kenzo for the turn order.
I'm so sorry. I got a 20. I don't know how to put it. I was trying to figure out how to put it in. Can I just type it in like this?
Oh, I didn't even add my initiative since it was a nat 20. 22 is mine.
I
We
will
don't cap
edit
at 20.
Dice
It
Daddy,
does not. Yes.
point of order for future reference. Shoving, you make an athletics versus athletics. So they roll on athletics.
Ooh, that might have been better
Head to head.
for both of you.
You either knock the target prone or push it 5 feet away from you, or you can either do athletics or acrobatics.
But if you're making an unarmed attack, I guess I still don't know if you use your proficiency or not, but like if you were, I guess.
Yeah, if our warlock who never uses his fists decides to use his fist.
He's extra bad.
It says using your attack action to make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or push it away from you. If you are able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. So it's
neat.
It's no attack roll. It's just straight athletics versus athletics or acrobatics versus.
I'll be sure
and
to put...
the target of the shove gets to choose athletics or acrobatics.
Perfect.
Point of order.
We'll say they're extra dexterous goblins.
These are dexterous goblins. They
They
might have beat you anyway with that because they do have. Oh, they don't have that as a skill. They just have stuff. Okay. The battle begins with Svayo.
And for narrative, can I get a recap on what happened when we dashed at them here?
You dash at these people. Kenzo takes a leaping jump. Seeing you begin to move, you hop down the boxes safely. Kenzo jumps off the edge. You guys reach the goblins about the same time. You mutter a pretty cool phrase where you say, "Why don't you find out?" It alerts both goblins just enough that they duck and roll under you, and the weight of your push pushes you both into their spaces.
Okay.
So you're both on the edge.
You're still making tickle hands.
So, Svayo having horrible luck lately with doing any damage at all. He's like completely frustrated at this point. Okay, so he hunches over and starts to like clench his fists and just gets pissed, and his eyes rage up and start to like boil over this purple color, and these purple tendrils start to spring out of his body, and he's just like, "Oh no, you didn't!" And the arms of Hadar come out of his body to smash these goblins.
Hot damn.
Yes. Boop boop. In position, you do not provoke. Okay. I'm glad. Ranged. Is this a ranged spell? It's not.
All creatures within 10 feet too, so that'll get both goblins.
Yeah, within 10 feet. Okay, so what does it do exactly? Erupt from you. Creatures within 10 feet of you must make strength saving throws. On a failed save, the target takes 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take reactions. It's half the damage. That's crazy. Okay, so they both get strength saving throws, which is not good for them. Very not good for them. All right, so here are two goblins. Strength saving throws. These are both at -1. What is your spell save DC? It's a 11 and a 10, which I bet is not high enough. Spell save DC is 13. It has listed there. Yep, they both go ahead and roll me 2d6 of damage.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
1 and 4.
Let's see, they get separate, or is it the same?
They probably take the same because it's
yeah. Okay.
That style of effect is usually everyone takes that amount of damage. They do not like that, but they still remain on their feet. Though engaging into that may not be their favorite idea ever. So that is that. Svayo begins to ripple dark energy pools at his feet, and tentacles erupt from the ground, just beating the ever-loving hell out of these goblins. Kenzo.
What a fun position to be in. Let's just... Kenzo's mad that he missed, because he's the dexterous guy. He gets to jump on you, you don't get to jump on him, you know? So he's just going to smack this dude with his quarterstaff real quick. The dude right next to him, obviously. That's a 24 to hit.
Hit, for sure. For sure hit.
This is plus 3, so 8 damage.
What happens to this guy?
I just poke him I literally just poke him straight in the face, like a really hard thrust to like the forehead, and it seems like his head hits the ground harder than my quarterstaff hit his head.
Oh, absolutely. You smack him in the head, it knocks him off balance, and you hear a crack as his skull breaks across a sharp rock. You see blood dripping from the back of his head.
Nice.
And then I just lazily kind of stroll over here and punch this guy in the back of the head.
Yeah. Can you move and do your second attack? Is that a 5th edition thing?
Yeah, I believe so. Let's see, when
I believe that
it's called 2-weapon fighting.
Go ahead and do it. I know in Pathfinder you can't attack, move, attack, but I think you can in 5th edition.
I've always done it that way at the very least.
First stack exchange result says yes.
Perfect.
There you go. Let me hit him with this. That's a 12.
Yeah, what do you, oh, 12 doesn't hit. Unfortunate. You poke this guy in the head, the other guy, looks at what happened, and as you approach him, he cowers behind his shield, lifts it up right as you go to stab down on him. So it's Bruno's go.
Alright, let's see.
I'm so sorry.
In the ladder here.
Before the end of my turn, I'm gonna move, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just gonna back up behind Svayu and be like, alright, well, you got it, man, then. Just, I can't hit him.
Oh, heck, never mind. I was going to say you left the goblin's threat range, so he gets an attack, but he doesn't.
He got his ass beat.
Because he got destroyed by the arms of Hadar.
Oh, well, also because the mobile feature.
Oh, okay, you have...
So if I attempt an attack against somebody, they can't get an opportunity attack against... A melee attack, specifically. That's, like, the way it's worded, so...
Just let me have my moment.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to... Sorry.
2 reasons. He definitely can't attack.
He definitely... Yeah, he double can't.
Bruno's just gonna move. He gets down there, he sees just the one goblin left, and he's like, alright, Smoshum, it's on you.
As you run past and jump off of this ledge, go ahead and give me a quick acrobatics check, or athletics.
Bam.
Yeah, you pass for sure. Your eyes do catch the hint of what is down this hall, as you see in a straight line. Oh, we'll do... hold on. Let's give you a little more radius here. Did that reveal? It didn't. Why did that not reveal? Reveal areas. Boop, that revealed. And... as you jumped down, your eyes and your brain catch up, and you realize down that hall you saw 3 more goblins.
Alright, fair enough. He sees those goblins, and he's like, ladies, 2 on your right, 3 on your right.
Alright, and that is Elwyn Woods.
Apologies. Am I still a cat?
I think you decided to come out of cat form.
I'm real hazy about the end of the last session. I can't imagine why. Okay. Oh man, okay. I can move 30 feet?
Yep. 30 feet?
6 squares?
Correct. And if you click that little ruler, something really neat is you can actually start from yourself and see how far that gets you.
I haven't figured out the ruler yet. Where the hell is it?
You were on it. Down 2-1. Down there. Yep. Yeah, just click on your character and hold it, and you can.
Well, that makes sense. I didn't
Yeah, you
realize
can
that.
click anywhere.
Woo. Why is it showing me? That's not me.
It's
That
good
was
to know how far Katie can move too.
You can tell who did it by the color of the arrow. Like mine is the light blue.
Yeah, just click and drag.
Problem.
You gotta click and drag.
I think I gotta turn the ruler.
Go back to your arrow.
Yuki. No
As a
wonder.
caster, you should have some cantrips too. I don't know if you have any that do damage or anything like that.
My produce flame can be an attack.
Light them up.
I was actually.
Do whatever you want to do.
I was gonna say I will give you suggestions, but in the end, it is all on you.
Yeah, I want your suggestions completely.
And we can't see behind his screen, but I guarantee you this thing is like barely clinging on to life. Like anything you do to this goblin that hits is gonna kill his ass.
No, my instinct was to use my staff, honestly, for the shillelagh.
Whack him.
Shillelagh.
They're honestly pretty close.
Yeah, is Shillelagh a bonus action spell?
It's a cantrip.
It is a bonus action.
And yes.
Okay, so you can move, use your bonus action to cast Shillelagh, and you can smack this guy if you want to do that, for sure.
We're gonna fucking destroy him.
I walk up to him and grab my staff, and it starts to vibrate, and then I whack him into the hole.
Yes, go ahead and
he goes,
roll me. Roll me a d20 to hit.
With no modifiers? Isn't it?
You do get modifiers. One concentration. You can use your spell casting instead of your strength for the attack roll. So it's just like casting a spell.
Plus your proficiency bonus.
Oh. Shit.
So that's plus 2 more, but that's probably hitting. So
yeah, it's a 17.
For sure that hits. So yeah, you take your shillelagh, you jump down on those boxes, real nimble like, come down and whack this guy across the side of the head. He falls.
Like I'm hitting a home run.
You
out of the field.
Yes, you major league home run. All the bases are loaded. You got to
Super
get all
smash
the men home.
when you over smash with the home run bat.
Yeah, when you smack him, he actually rebounds and leaves a little blood spatter against this wall back here. And then he falls straight down into the pit after about, I don't know, 5 seconds. You hear a faint.
Damn, girl!
That's a long way down.
If Kenzo shouted loud enough, would those goblins that were digging hear him? Does he think?
Yes. Yep.
Alright, so he says really loud and common. He's like, that's what happens to goblins who don't dig enough. In case they go looking over to what happened, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Grendel, it is your turn. What would Grendel like to do?
I would like to go down that hallway towards the other ones. So can I go... How far can I go? 20 feet?
It'll be on your character sheet. I think dwarves are
25.
25.
So I'm going to
go 5 squares.
Yes. I'm going to go... I just want to go right here. Why can't...
You got to click on the pointer again. All right, deal.
There. I go here.
You can go one more if you want. Perfect. And then seeing that, I will open up the rest of this room for you. Boof. Upon entering, the goblins seem like they've kind of looked back and prepared themselves for battle, but what they were doing in here before, you're not quite sure. One goblin is standing wearing a hat that he has made for himself out of a couple jawbones. And instead of a sword and spear, you see him carrying a kind of a rod made of bones. And the other two look like they're dressed in what a goblin would imagine a suit looks like. So who knows what could have happened here? You have an attack action left and a bonus action.
Well, I'm gonna shoot at the wannabe Pokemon with the jaw.
With the jawbones?
Yeah.
This guy here?
T-Tap.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
Do I get initiative at all or anything?
You get what's next to your crossbow. So on your character sheet next to your crossbow, you roll a d20 and add whatever the attack bonus is.
6.
Correct. This is unfortunate. I'm sorry you don't get a roll again.
What? No, I didn't mean to roll that.
The first one was a 4.
It was a practice roll.
Wait, what? None of those are supposed to roll at that time.
I want to do homework.
Wow. Son of a bitch.
I gotta go with the first thing that rolled, which was a 4.
I didn't even put in 6. So how did? Whatever.
Whatever. So 10 total will not hit the goblin. You see, you shoot and it lands at the makeshift altar in front of him, kind of landing in the open, what appears to be some sort of book in front of him. The arrow hits the altar right into that book, and the goblin looks down at it and wipes his brow.
I blame it on my new nails.
These goblins, I blame it on my nails. These two, boop, they're going to run up this way into what you guys can, well, maybe no one can see them. Grendel might be able to see them, but they kind of disappear into the cavern.
How'd they know the password? Fuck.
And then these three are going to... This one jumps over his bench. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these two... This one comes that way too. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see this one go off this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. And into a hole.
Rude.
And this one's going to try and make a swing against Grendel. So he gets this, and this is going to be against your AC.
13.
An 11. He takes his scimitar that he has in his hand, crude and cracked, and he goes to swing it down on you. You notice one of the little chinks in the edge of the scimitar, and you quickly place the back of your crossbow into that chink and stop his sword from hitting you. Svayo.
Okay. So Svayo actually is kind of oblivious to what's going on here. He was so caught up in actually just trying to give a beat down for a change. He wasn't even paying attention to what Bruno yelled. So first off, he's kind of nonchalantly just walking off this way because he hears some clinking, like, what the hell is that? He's like, what is going on over there? He looks over and he's like, oh shit. And then just off the hip, just fires Purple Eldritch Blast right at this first goblin here.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll. And maybe you'll hit even.
Maybe. I might catch one this time.
Oh, Grendel ducks.
So this is where the spell attack gets applied as a plus modifier, right?
Correct. So
Okay.
you do a spell attack. You're doing a spell attack roll with your Eldritch Blast. I'm so sorry.
Oh, buddy. Them's the dice some days.
Spio, you begin to notice every time you're doing your Eldritch Blast, you're kind of throwing a middle finger into it, like you instinctively did the first time,
Yeah.
and it's throwing off your aim a little bit. You go to fire your Eldritch Blast, and it goes straight forward, but it kind of goes up, and it blasts and shatters right above Grendel's head, and a little debris falls down and dust on you, dealing no damage, but really freaking you out, Grendel.
He's got a little eldritch dysfunction. He's got a little ED problem going on lately.
Kenzo Yachi.
He really wants to go chase after those insubordinate goblins, but there's a threat at hand.
One thing you notice about all the goblin holes that are bored into this place is they're all just big enough for small-sized creatures to get in, and not big enough for medium-sized creatures to get in. Which you imagine might be why Half Pup was sent first.
Rest in peace.
So
More Half Pup.
this tunnel, essentially, with these goblins and Grendel in it, it's not wide enough for me to get by them.
If you do a very good athletics check,
Parkour.
Well, so I do have Step of the Wind,
Or
where
acrobatics.
I can spend a key point, and my jump distance is doubled, which makes it 28 feet, which is 2 feet shy of 30 feet, which is 3 squares, which is what the distance I need.
if you use Step of the Wind, you can definitely get over this whole group of people and get to the backside.
Can I not Step of the Wind and just acrobatics and try to get over it? Is that an option as well?
That's also an option. Step of the Wind will allow you to do it for free.
Okay.
You could also do a high acrobatics check to try and get over, and if you fail by 5 or more, both you and Grendel will go prone.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Put
I
it
don't.
out there.
What?
Grendel, you trying to go prone with me? That didn't sound good. Okay, alright. I'm gonna use my key point. I'm gonna Step the Wind. I'm just gonna... I do a wall run, classic,
Oh, hell yeah.
and then I'm here. I can actually... Alright, I'm just gonna... actually... I'm gonna attack the guy in the middle so that he doesn't get an opportunity attack on me, and then I'm gonna end my turn right here.
Absolutely.
Let me do this. It's an 11 to hit.
Does not hit. But
I'm over there.
Grendel, you see Kenzo Yachi jump up on these barrels, come barreling through the hall. You might hear a quick on your left as he jumps over the side, kind of begins dashing across the wall past you, and you see him try and do kind of this spin kick as he goes by to hit a goblin. The goblin quickly ducks, but then Kenzo lands on the other side, coming to your aid, ready in his martial pose. Bruno Goldbeard.
Bruno's gonna huff his way back up this ladder. Sorry, I looked the wrong way. I looked before I leap. And run up here, and that's where, because I can't move through Grendel, but I'm gonna double move.
You can move through Grendel, you can't move through the goblin space.
Right.
So...
What if I... Oh no, I have to do a double... I have to do a double move to get here. Never mind.
Is that your turn?
That's it. Yep, that's my turn.
A double move is you using... It's technically called a dash action in 5e. It's where you get to move twice your move speed, but it takes both your movement and your action.
Nice.
So you're pretty much using your action to move again.
Kenzo's done that, right? Or is that just the dashing is part of
So
the...
I have a special feature that lets me do it as a bonus action / key point.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
I got you. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Yep, you're good.
No, you're great questions. Great questions. Because there's a list of, and I can go through them later. There's a list of things you can do as actions, like dashing and disengaging. And I can talk about those later too. But you can, as an action, like attack, cast a spell, dash, disengage. You can do a dodge or a help action. You can try and hide. There's also
We could have a private DND date where you can teach me stuff on.
just tell you everything. Trust me, you don't want that. I'll talk for 5 hours.
Okay. Katie can sit there and craft and be there too.
Deal. That sounds fun, and I'm excited about it. Elle.
Oh shit. Okay. What am I doing here? I want to. I think I'm just gonna move to get a. Elle is going to move over this way, and that's it for now.
Yep. You make your way, step up onto the boxes, get on top, and prepare yourself for whatever's next. You still have an action and a bonus action if you want to do anything with those. If you have a spell that can.
I think I'm good.
Just because she's probably not aware. I think almost like all characters start with like some darts and stuff, right? Okay, you actually do. Just so you know, you do have like a dart if you did want to like throw at a goblin. I'm only jumping in there just because I don't think she knows that she has that stuff.
I did not know I had that stuff.
Yeah, you probably have a ranged weapon of sorts.
Is there anything else?
It looks
My
like
quarterstaff.
you have a quarterstaff and you have darts. You have a dart. You have one dart.
I remember when I think I'll hold off. I think I'm just gonna let this one ride out. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Grendel, it is your turn.
I am.
I'll give you a hint. If you fired right in melee where you are now, you would be either, I don't know if it provokes an attack of opportunity or it does disadvantage on the attack roll. It's one of those two. Hold on.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Shooting ranged in melee range.
I think it's disadvantage.
I have a short sword.
Yeah, you can drop your crossbow and draw your sword as part of an attack if you want to try and hit with a short sword.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right, you drop your.
With my...
Yeah, go ahead. You roll a d20 plus whatever it says next to your short sword.
4, and I'm not gonna click anything until I move it.
Oh.
I'm cutting these nails off right now.
Why does this keep happening?
Oh,
No one can hit anything. All right. You drop your crossbow, being in range, and you go to pull your short sword out. But as you pull your short sword out, it catches on the scabbard, and it's as much as you can do just to pull the short sword out and make kind of a light-hearted stab towards the goblin, which he kind of bats away with his own sword. Goblins' turns. And the goblins are going to...
What was that?
These two are going
My sword.
to...
Oh, it's a knife. I couldn't tell.
This one's going to full disengage and run over here and disappear. And this one is kind of not in a place where he can do that. He's going to try and attack Grendel. He's got the bloodlust.
Come at me, bitch.
He wants at it. He want it. Open my dice roller, please. 14 to hit.
Fuck.
Does that hit?
Yes.
All right. He's going to do... Six damage to Grendel.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And I'm still at the same points as I was last time, right?
Yep, you haven't been healed. You haven't rested.
Okay.
So what are your hit points at now?
I am at 13.
13. What's your max?
23.
Oh.
Good to know. That's right, because you went into Constitution. Spio!
Okay, and I think you were undecided. Did we see when the goblins ran into this little hovel over here? Did we notice that, or did we not notice it?
You didn't necessarily notice them go in there, but you know they're not where they were before.
Okay. So, we're going to switch hit. So then Spio, since he just kind of threw that little right hand middle finger and missed, we're going to try to lefty it out this time. And so he cocks back, gets some purple glow going, and just thrusts it forward right at this goblin straight in front of Grendel here.
Woo.
That is
Yeah,
plus
for sure.
whatever, but yeah.
Nice.
Sure. Spio, you realize as you do this, maybe you were supposed to be a left-handed person. Your handwriting has always been really bad.
Like, So that is going to be 1d10 plus 3.
What do you do to this boy?
So this is aimed right for the eye because he's still tilted from all the misses before. So he cocks back that energy, it kind of bubbles up in the left hand and shoots it forward, and then that blast goes right through the left eye of that goblin.
Yeah, you switch it up. You actually summon the energy in your right hand again, and then noticing that you might want to make a change, you kind of like throw it in the air and catch it with your other hand and go for the punch. The Eldritch Blast comes right out of you, streaks right past all of your friends' heads, and straight bullseye right into this thing's eye, which you see kind of pop. And the Grendel right in front of you, this has happened. You can actually see this thing's brain start to boil and kind of seep out of its empty eye socket. This thing goes.
Oh, now I want soup.
Gross.
So that is all of the enemies you can see taken care of. I will say you're out of combat, but we're going to keep this order. Nothing else is actively attacking you.
I'm going to wander down here and kind of shake down this dead goblin and take a look at what he's got on him.
Heck yeah. You pull off that dead goblin a crude cracked mace and a short bow, as well as 3 gold pieces.
Woo!
Kenzo wants to see if those goblins from up before actually dug up anything useful.
Roll me a luck check.
I don't know how to do that. Is it just straight up
Just
D20?
Straight up D20.
It's a 10, so right in the middle.
Nah,
Okay.
nothing too exciting. You see some rubble on the floor. Taking a closer look at where they were digging, you can tell this wasn't even a vein.
Fucking goblins, he says in
There was nothing
Goblin.
I'm gonna come in here. We just kind of blew through this. I'm gonna do grab some perception checks in the room that I just moved to, and then back to this room over here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you see. In this main common area, it seems as though the hole possibly was part of right above, kind of sitting above one of the smaller mines in the area and had fallen through. That's the hole that they had kind of fallen out of. But everything else here is just kind of sconces. The crates that you use to get up and down from here over here, kind of looking at them, they're mostly completely ransacked and empty. You find some very old bread in one of them, so it's stale and blue that you probably don't even recognize it as an edible food.
Gross.
But the interesting thing is when you get in here, you find a couple things. First off, you find some pews with some ease, and an altar. You notice a crude book with an arrow sticking straight out of it. As you look at the book, it looks as though many of the pages of the original book, which is entitled The Great Minds of Grendel, have been ripped out. The pictures have all stayed, and on some blank pages that have kind of been sewn in, you see crudely etched phrases which you would assume is in Goblin.
Gotcha.
You also see a small chest here in the corner.
Okay. Bruno, hey, Kenzo. Kenzo, you speak Goblin. Would you mind taking a look at what I found here and reading it?
Kenzo's like, yeah, all right. Comes over there.
You go over and read the writings on the book, and they say, goblins are great, everyone else sucks. We're going to form our own cool religion with goblins and swords and gold and naked lady goblins.
As Kenzo's like reading this to them, he like stops at one point and he's like, "It's useless, guys. Sorry." And he drops it to the ground.
And as you do that, you drop it to the ground, and it flips open to a page that had a beautiful picture of a mine on it, crudely written in charcoal, a goblin with boobs.
And then Kenzo goes, "Well, I mean, I should probably keep it just, for like."
Oh, you actually, Kenzo, I didn't know you were interested in mines.
Yeah.
We can tell you all about it. You know what? After this adventure, you come hang out with us. We'll drink beers, and I'll tell you all about mines.
I love mines. Tell you what, you show me a good mine, I'll make you a nice ring. You look like the type of guy that would wear like big gaudy rings, I'll get you one.
You know me too well.
I think Bruno is definitely the type that has a bunch of big brass rings.
Yeah.
He has so much gaudy gladiator. Like when he's dressed up for his gladiator combat, he's extra as fuck.
Like you might as well have what do they call them? Why am I forgetting the name? Brass knuckles. You might as well have brass knuckles on at all times.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yes.
Actually, Kenzo's like, you know what? I'm gonna make you some nice jeweled brass knuckles one day. Mark my words, all right?
Sounds like a deal.
Being interested in all things book, Spalio is kind of wandering over that direction and realizes it sounds like they're not looking at much. But even though kind of passively doing it most of the time, uses Eldritch Sight to detect magic, just kind of in this general vicinity. I'm mostly focused on the book desk area and the chest over here.
The chest and the desk area, you notice nothing, but you still get that same sense of magic that you've kind of been getting. The book in your bag that keeps whispering in your head, it's actually getting a little distracting. It's one of those noises that kind of comes in and out of your focus. Like it's always on in the background, and then every once in a while you'll just realize that it's still on. It's just going, sign me, sign this, sign me. And that's coming from the book in your pouch. You also get a hint of magic from this direction, but not in this room. It feels like it's coming from deeper in the cavern.
Okay.
But the chest and the altar, no magic.
Okay. So I'm going to keep wandering this direction and attempt to open this chest and take a look inside.
Heck yeah. Ellen Grendel, are you doing anything while these are doing all this stuff?
I'm just gnawing on my nails, trying to make them shorter.
Grendel, hey, it looks like this well over here is their water source. So you should poop in it.
Okay. Run over there.
Grendel runs over like many of the bets that Bruno has made her.
Yeah.
Drops trowel, but in a more feminine dwarven way, which
The
is still
pooping
fairly
way?
masculine. Yeah.
Just no nonsense.
Elle, are you
drop
doing
and drop.
anything while these guys are looking for this?
If my moving ability, my speed is 40 feet and climb 30 feet, is that like combined or separate? Like, how does that work?
Separate. You have a climb speed separate from your movement.
So if I climb like halfway and then walk halfway, how does that work?
So the way I've known is the climbing does actually use your movement. So if your movement's 40 feet and your climbing's 20 feet, it doesn't mean you can climb 20 feet and then move 40 feet. It means you can climb 20 feet and then move 20 feet.
Move the remainder, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
That makes
you
sense.
used half of it. Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. It's different for lots of different exceptions or whatever, but yeah.
I get that. That answers my questions. Well, nobody notices, but Elle slowly shrinks back down, and she is a tiny cat. I know that's a shock. But she's a very young, stealthy, energetic, tiny black cat that nobody notices. And my speed and then climb. So I can climb 30 feet and then go another 10. And I'm going to try to... Where's the entry point to this little inlet that the goblins went into?
You see a couple. You see one.
The one that's like in the room with the altar.
You see one here at the bottom of these stairs. You also see one on the other side of this cookware.
I think if you just click, we see the ping. Yeah.
Okay, so I think then. No. Sorry, guys.
Where do you want to go exactly? Don't worry about movement. Where do you want to go exactly?
I'm gonna sneak down one of these tunnels and start to try to see where some of these goblins went and what they're doing down there.
Yeah, totally. The tunnels are...
I can really reach either of these two here or here.
Oh yeah, we're out of combat and people are looking at books and opening chests and all that stuff. So you have time. Movement's not necessarily a factor. Movement mostly is when the action economy is going through. So
Yeah, did you catch that though?
um,
That's kind of what I was saying before. Like once you're out of combat, like he's saying, yeah, like
yeah,
it's not as much rigid like timing.
yeah, you can kind of do whatever you like. So you go over to one of these holes and you begin to prowl inside. And once you get inside these holes, you're probably the only one in the party who can even try and do this. You start moving through the holes. Your cat's dark vision kicks in, and you can kind of see some of the things. You notice that these holes are fairly... To say that they're intricate invokes the idea that any thought was put into where these holes were going to go. That is not what is happening here. But there are a lot of them. There are a lot of branching paths. They go places. You notice a couple signs posted up, like hammered and nailed into the dirt and stone to kind of try and point arrows, but some of the signs aren't labeled. They just have an arrow pointing in a direction. Some of the signs have like X's on them, showing that probably it dead ends. But you make your way, and you can pop out in a bunch of different places. But do you want to keep going down these holes until you find something?
Yes, because I'm trying. My elf thing says she turns into this cat that she needs to see where these goblins are going and what they're trying to find. And although she's aware that these people / whatever they are over here looking at this book and looking at other stuff, she realizes that she needs to figure out why they're in here and what they're trying to get at.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth roll.
Which, given the step, so you probably have an advantage on that too.
With the
Or
cat, yeah.
proficiency,
Stealth roll. Oh, I don't actually.
+4.
+4. Damn. Oh. Still not great.
They don't notice you, but you turn a corner, and you come upon. Am I on the right layer? What layer am I on? Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Huh?
Yeah, I will ping you over there in just a second.
Oh shit!
You see, and you notice these two goblins. You know that they're the same goblins you saw before. They do not see you as you approach, but you turn a corner and you immediately see them. They both have short bows out, and don't necessarily have them drawn, but are kind of waiting, looking this direction. Svayo, I'll let you think about what you want to do next. Svayo, in that chest, you find a bunch of useless baubles and trinkets, things that are metal colored and shiny, but not necessarily money. But you do also, after kind of scraping through it, find a well-crafted silver dagger and about, I don't want to go too far into silver and copper pieces, but about 1 gold worth of silver and copper pieces.
Okie doke.
And it would be an overstatement to say that it's a full chest. It is a bulging chest. It takes very little when you undo the latch for the chest to just spring open on its own. But everything else in there is pretty much junk.
Okay, we're basically just all the trinkets and baubles are basically junk.
Yep, it's
Okay.
junk. It wouldn't be worth anything for you to even take it back, but it's shiny, so the goblins put it in there.
Okay, so we take the silver dagger and the GP. Maybe one little bauble as a memento. This is like, oh, this thing's kind of cool. He takes a little memento.
Oh yeah, there's a small statue kind of made of tin. You can see that they've kind of tried to attach horns to it and also drawn a penis on it.
It's like, sweet. Okay. So, although we're kind of dispersed right now.
Yeah, you all turn around and notice that Bruno is gone and Elle is gone.
So, in the midst of kind of that same little action as pocketing my nice little penis statue, I go up to these two, and Spotty says, I don't know about you two, but I could kind of go for a rest right about now.
Yes.
We should find the
I
other.
definitely want to rest.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
a big
sounds
short
good.
rest.
And Kenzo's like, "Ugh," and he pulls up onto the comfiest thing he can see around him.
Yeah.
And then I, at least, since I've started to feel a little bit of attachment, I don't fully settle into my rest. I'm still kind of wondering and asking the party, like, so where the hell is Elle at?
Yeah,
Who?
Elle. Bruno probably comes back and joins the party, I would assume. Everyone's decided to take a little short rest. Elle, we'll snap back to you. What do you do? in
Napping
this
on the pew.
situation?
I sink into the shadows. I'm just basically going to silently observe what these goblins are doing while my party is resting, just to see if I can get them to tire and divulge some sort of information.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just chilling in the shadows near the goblins where they can't see me.
Perfect. And the rest of you are just going to, in this little church, just take a quick hour nap. Are you doing anything before you
So, yeah.
zonk out for an hour? You don't necessarily sleep. You just don't do anything.
Yeah.
You don't do anything that's more strenuous than eating, drinking, reading, or tending to wounds. That is a short rest.
So while we're chilling here, and this nagging voice keeps bugging Svalio more and more, he starts to kind of take a look at this book and thumb through it and try to ascertain more on what the hell's going on here.
The book, as you pull it out, it has a big, gnarled metal, but it's twisted with other types of things, stones and things like that, and it's kind of taking on this purplish hue. But it's got a giant lock on the front, and it's all wrapped up in chains.
Okay. I am going to see if I can open the book.
How would you like to try and open the book?
So first, it's a nice light, just kind of tug. See, oh, is this lock actually functioning, or is it actually closed and locking me out?
As you pull on it, the lock stands firm. The book doesn't even budge. The chains wrapped around it are so tight.
Okay. He's gonna kind of get over that real quick. He's not a locksmith here. He's just gonna like, okay, well, fuck it, and lay down and maybe take a sip out of his flask and take a little rest.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything during this time?
Nope.
No? Okay. You guys settle down to take a rest, and about 15 minutes into it, you notice that the goblins that you're standing right next to put their short bows on their backs. They grab their weapons at their sides, and they begin to turn towards the hidey hole that you're in currently.
So I, as a cat, with my keen sense of smell and hearing, hear their movements and smell them coming closer, and I start.
Oh, you can see them. You're kind of keeping an eye on them.
But I slink back through the tunnel the other way, in reverse,
Absolutely.
walking backwards.
The way you came down, you slink back. You hear, as you're slinking, goblin sounds coming after you. And you pop right here. You probably have, about 2 rounds to alert your party before the goblins pop back through the hole.
I don't know if she talks.
I slink up to Svayo and begin headbutting him and nudging him.
Hey, if we're gonna do this, you gotta turn back into the other thing. I like that better.
Whacking my
That's not my style, lady.
So if you want to stay a cat and you're trying to alert them, just kind of by doing what you're doing, I'm going to need a...
I think Svayo kind of like not fully asleep, so he kind of opens his eye and looks at me, and he thinks he's dreaming because I resemble his friend.
His little cat friend?
Mogwai.
Mogwai.
Either roll a performance or a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Performance.
Yes.
Boo, hate it. All right.
Is Timmy in a well, girl?
Thanks, I hate it.
I am not joking. I asked that to a coworker today. Okay, moving on.
What is a girl?
Okay, I need direction here.
So
persuasion,
it's going to be 20 plus.
I already have.
It's going to be 20 minus 1. So roll a d20 minus 1.
But I'm a cat.
If it doesn't
So
say
you roll-
there, you keep your stats.
Perception, strength.
Yeah.
Passive perception 13.
Yeah, the only thing that changes when you become a cat are your physical attributes, but your persuasion and your performance would remain the same. They're charisma checks. So
What does it mean when it says senses passive perception 13?
passive perception is a thing that I can use to have you notice things in the surrounding without you having to roll perception checks all the time. So when you're rolling a perception check, you're actively looking for something or trying to find something. Your passive perception represents a number of things that can't sneak up on you or you would notice just kind of by naturally walking around.
I got you.
So like if we're just walking and he says, "Hey, roll for me," like then we know, oh shit, something's up.
It's
Probably.
literally just being aware of your surroundings. It sounds
Yep.
like. So,
Yep,
okay.
pretty much.
So
you're going to roll 2 d20s, minus 1 to each, and you're going to take the lower number.
Boo. I guess I shouldn't have booed it before I rolled it.
You notice no one has really caught on to what you're trying to say, but you're over here near Svaio, and the goblins, boop, boop, pop out of the hole, interrupting your long rest. And we will continue on initiative. I don't want to make everyone roll initiative, but we'll continue down the initiative order with Kenzo.
And then I know you said long there, but did that interrupt our short rest? We didn't get slots back?
Correct.
I thought we were
taking
taking short, yeah.
rest.
Okay.
It was about 15 minutes. You didn't get your 1 hour of doing nothing.
Gotcha.
Unless you want to continue to do nothing.
Yeah.
Am I aware of these goblins?
Absolutely. They make a lot of noise. They pop back through the hole, kind of thinking that they're going to get the bump on you, but don't really make too much of an effort to be stealthy. Even though they could. They're very stealthy. They don't.
Okay,
So I just kind of look over like, oh!
Oh!
So Kenzo stands up. He's looking super annoyed because he was trying to take a nap. And he says in Goblin, 2 more insubordinate goblins don't want to dig. Well, I've got a lesson to teach them. And he pulls out his quarterstaff and he slowly marches towards them.
Slowly.
No, it's the goblins too. It's the 2. It is the 2.
These are 2 different ones.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Those ones are still out there, though.
But I don't attack yet. I wait to see the reaction.
Do you want to roll an intimidate check?
I really do. I don't, because I don't have a good bonus to it, but I think that's a -1. Let me see. It's a -1, so a 7.
They seem fairly unaffected, and you would know that.
That's probably my blonde.
As a bonus action, so if you want to do a...
It's my blonde ponytail. They weren't falling for it. Okay.
They don't scare anybody with a ponytail.
That was a bonus action. Okay, so I'm gonna not get. I'm sorry. I'm gonna not get within melee range of the top left one. I'm gonna quarterstaff this dude to the face because he wasn't intimidated. That is a 15.
That is a hit.
Here's 10 damage, I believe. Wait, no, 9 damage.
What do you do this, boy?
So I do the whole, actually, like, leg sweep him. He goes horizontal, and while he's horizontal, I hit him, like, right in the rib cage, straight down into the ground.
Boof! He cracks his head against the rock, and he is knocked completely unconscious.
And then I kind of, like,
swift movement.
I kind of, like, flurry twirl over to here, like, all epic, like, and I stare at...
you, like, do a full jumping kind of fancy
spinning, like,
and
with my quarterstaff out, and then I
get up on the top of those stairs.
And I stare down that one, the other goblin.
Bruno, you're muted if you're saying things.
Bruno grabs his axe. It's about time. I was getting bored. And he takes his axe and swings up on this goblin right in front of him.
Yeah, go for it.
15 to hit.
15 to hit, hits.
Okay. That is 5 damage.
5 damage. You gash this boy right across the chest completely. He goes to bring his shield up, and you kind of knock the shield down and scrape across the top of him with the tip of your axe, causing him to bleed profusely.
Excellent.
He still stands. L.
Shit.
L shits on the ground.
Oh no!
It drops trow. Okay.
Scratch the ground in front of the poop to try to cover up the poop. Man.
That's my sheet, sorry. There you go.
That was just one of the first times I was actually so, like, engrossed in the story and what was going on.
That's that shit I love.
That's good.
I know, I had no, like, perception of the fact that I needed to make a decision.
But now you are an active participant in the story.
I am. So
This guy, I will tell you, this guy's looking pretty bad. Pretty fucked up.
I thought the other guy was
He's dead.
dead. He's
This
not,
one is dead.
Doesn't he need an X? Yeah, okay. Sorry.
You're absolutely fine. Yeah, with your cat movement, you can definitely get over there.
Yeah,
Switch back to the arrow.
God damn it.
This isn't MySpace.
Shut up, asshole. MySpace. Call me old.
You got it.
Call me old without calling me old.
You got
I
it.
think all of us here had a MySpace.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, for sure.
I customized the fuck out of that thing.
Cody, did you have a MySpace?
Zanga was better. Anyways, yeah, I did.
Oh my god, I remember that too.
Zanga was so good. You could set not just songs, but whole playlists that would play while someone was visiting your own page. Animated backgrounds, text and shit, and all that stuff. It was so customizable. Literally, that was the first one ever, and it was way better than anything else.
But could you rank your friends to let them know where they stand with you?
Well, they could have added that. You could add that. You could literally like copy and paste HTML into like edit and chat and bars and shit and get whatever you wanted. It was crazy. It was anarchy. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
I thought I was gonna be a computer programmer because I could do HTML.
Yeah, I know. It made everyone feel like that. Like Zanga. It was like, yeah. That's so true.
You didn't have Tom though. Okay, you didn't have Tom.
I'm always at your back.
Tom.
Yeah, you always knew those anarchy kids by the people who still had Tom on their friends list.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom was number one because I'm
Always.
cool.
They were too hardcore for me.
There were two.
Same.
Elle, would you like to try and attack this Gerblin?
I sure am. I'm gonna try to. I did some crazy zoomy cat shit and zoomed all over the place, and he didn't even see it coming. And I ricochet off the wall and hop on top of him and lash out with my deadly fecal claw.
Oh, it's got poison damage.
Poison damage now. All right, go ahead and roll me a d20.
Poopy poison
And
damage.
add whatever you add to that. It's probably your proficiency bonus plus whatever your cat dex modifier is.
Proficiency +2 and my
There's a
It
pun
probably
in here
says
somewhere.
on the cat. Yeah, it probably says on the cat what the attack would be.
Got it.
My claws are hit 1 slashing damage, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
you're
more.
saying I should use my dex and
For your hit, yeah.
Let me look
You,
up.
you had it right when you said the +2, and
yeah.
Yeah.
So +4. That's +2 and that's 2 + 2 is 4, guys.
Yeah, all right.
Let me look up cat real quick.
that's not a good sign.
That is not a hit. So you jump on top of him,
Great.
and you begin scratching at him, but he is too worried about the giant gash in his chest to worry too much about the kitty scratches. He grabs you and throws you down on the ground. You land deftly on your feet. Grendel.
You let go of our pussy.
You do notice this goblin is wearing a toupee.
I do.
We
Can
gotta
I
get
do
to the capital.
Hunter's Mark on him?
You absolutely can do Hunter's Mark on him.
I do Hunter's Mark on him, and I go just because of how gross that is, and then I shoot at him.
Go ahead and roll an attack roll for me with your crossbow.
Ha! Ha ha!
Nice.
It is.
That's for sure a hit. You can roll damage if you would like, just to see how much it was, because he does have Hunter's Mark on him.
So much
I roll a
damage.
d20 for that, right?
No.
What do I roll?
You roll a. It should be next to
D6?
your crossbow. I think it's a D10
It is a d10. I'm sorry. I
plus
knew that.
whatever it says on there.
That's
Nice.
bode well for him.
You also add a D6
Oh my god.
For
Oh.
Hunter's Mark, that shit is nasty.
for Hunter's Mark.
Boom.
Fucking pink mist.
Oh, do I roll another d6?
Yeah, roll another d6.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I was so excited.
I just thought we were acknowledging that thing's fucking dead.
16.
I just want you to know
motherfucking
how
damage.
dead he is. So for a creature with a total of 7 hit points, who started the round with 2 hit points, now has negative 14 hit points, more than double his total HP. How do you kill this goblin, Grendel Goldbeard?
Fuck that toupee.
Fuck that toupee. You shoot your arrow and you kind of like take your hunter's mark and point right at him to cast the spell, and then you point up, and the goblin, not thinking anything of it, looks directly up, and you fire an arrow that so perfectly, kind of like the arrowhead is flying directly at his neck like a guillotine, and it so perfectly lands that you sever his head from his body. The arrow poof, smashes into the wall and pins into the rocky surface, and the toupee head of this goblin, rests perfectly on top of the arrow, like a book sitting on a shelf.
Yes. I love it.
And that is him. So dead.
So dead.
So very dead. They didn't even get around to act. We're gonna keep. We'll clear the turn order.
No, I like being first.
I know you do. But from what you can hear with the rumblings, you assume that the 2 goblins that were here, or that were forced to mine, have probably vacated the cavern. You don't hear any more goblins scrambling around. You don't hear anything. You think, now that your short rest has been interrupted, it may be an okay time to continue your short rest and finish it. After your hour-long resting around and finishing your short rest,
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
Can I do one thing? I want to walk up to the goblin's head with the toupee, grab the toupee, and then throw it down one of the holes.
Absolutely. The ceremonial beheading of this goblin is finished off by his pride and joy, his lustrous, puffed up, blonde white hair, ripped from his skull and thrown down a pit, never ever to be seen again. And with that, I will say 15 more hours, everybody.
Almost there.
Almost done.
I kind of stretch like, oh, like next time you're gonna invite friends over, can you not do it during nap time, please?
Mm-hmm.
You guys continue your short rest, which, what a short rest does for you, for the people who have been hit, you gain, a character can spend 1 or more hit die at the end of a short rest up to the character's maximum hit die. Okay, that's probably for the day. So you can roll whatever your hit die is up to your level, which your hit die is in your class. I think for a ranger, I think Grendel's the only one who's been hurt. Am I correct in that assumption?
No, Bruno has 4 damage, but it's a roll plus Constitution, and that's a 4 for me. So.
For sure. So you roll your hit die plus your con modifier and gain that much HP back, Grendel.
I believe L took some damage on the bridge. Well, we know we rested since then. You were good, yeah.
So I'll roll.
Let me look up what a ranger's hit die is.
There's a
I
D10.
think it's a D10. So you roll a D10 plus your con modifier, and you can roll 2 of those, but you gain back whatever you roll in hit points. So you gain 3 hit points, and if you want to do it again, you can do that. 13. So you gain 13 hit points back total.
I'm back to 19.
And also, characters who care about that, I think warlocks are the only ones whose spells are restored on a short rest.
Yeah, I'm restored. She gets to pick a slot, apparently. L does for druids. I think you only expended one slot so far, though. You haven't used any slots. You haven't used any spell slots. You're good anyway.
Yeah.
No, those are cantrips you've used.
I used the moonbeam,
Oh, well, that was one. So yeah, you're good.
So you
which was
got
an accident, and I wasn't supposed to use,
Oh,
and
you're
I've since
calling
then
yourself out.
acknowledged it and told Cody.
I respect that.
why
but
weren't you supposed to use it?
She
She
used a
doesn't have it
second level
yet.
spell. She thought she was level 2. She could use second level spells.
Gotcha.
I didn't
Gotcha,
catch it until
gotcha.
after the
Yep.
session. I was like, wait a minute.
It's like one of the 2 or 3 things that are still like not clicking and making sense in my brain is the spell slots and the levels. Like I just need to have that light bulb moment of like, oh yeah, like there's something there that still confuses me about my levels and the spell slots and the charts I look at. But anyway,
Yep,
moving
it's
on.
just druids are based on the chart. That's how many spell slots you have, and we can have a conversation about magic and how it works at a separate time if you want to do that. Just so I can kind of get you up to
Spell
speed. I'm
slot,
sure you know most of it already.
your truth
Either way,
level.
you have all your slots right now.
Yeah, you do. You are back up. I think everyone's back up to fighting form. And you're awakened from your 1 hour short rest, hearing a smashing pound far off in the distance against a stone wall. You guys continue, and I'm just gonna reveal an area to you because it's going to be empty. Boop.
Bruno's gonna take the lead
Heck
through
yeah.
here.
As you guys, if you guys want to kind of make a solid lead, kind of an order from here, that would be great. Up to where you can see.
Spalio likes to hold up the rear so that while the party's ahead, he can kind of re-up and dip into his stash a little bit.
Absolutely. Spio's doing some light micro dosing. Gotta stay alert.
Well, a couple sips, some whiskey.
Kendall,
or
get behind me.
It's like a
Yeah.
cocktail. You get the right amount of
Kenzo.
uppers and downers, just kind of level yourself out.
Kenzo gets behind him. Oh,
Spalio needs a TikTok.
And then along the route here, I mean, I think you're kind of heading over. There's not jack shit going on, but perception check along the little route of the hallway here to see if make sure we're not just walking past anything.
You notice as you walk past this area, there's a few more shallower pits. But there are, in this hallway especially, it seems like the all roads lead to Rome style of goblin holes. There are so many goblin holes on the walls in different areas where... And Elle, you recognize this area, though you probably can't tell everybody because you're still a cat. You recognize this area as where you came out of that hole, and these goblins. Were there a bunch of goblins? You can tell that this is kind of like a lane of death for goblins that would have short bows and just fire arrows onto anybody who kind of
Fuck yeah, that would have been a brutal fight.
walked through it.
And then a little call out. I call out to the rest of the party, like, "Hey, didn't you guys say that there was ogre tracks coming up? I'm kind of half fucked up. I don't remember if that was in a book or if someone saw that, but when they're talking about an ogre,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said there was an ogre guarding the entrance.
As
But
you
we're far past the entrance now.
as you have this conversation and continue walk down, the pounding against the stone, boof, 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 gets louder and louder and louder as you go. And everyone, as you kind of round this corner, you see. Oh, let me make sure I'm on the correct layer to do this.
Do I have to go back to my normal form before I can transform to a different beast?
Correct.
Sorry.
Well, you might be able to switch from one form to another. You might be able to switch from a cat to a...
And it's an action?
it depends if you're going red as written. So I looked it up earlier, and it says normal form in the book. She's out of combat.
I would see no reason why you couldn't just shift wild shape from a cat to a bear. I don't see that as game breaking.
Can I do that right now?
That seems fine to me. Yes, absolutely. You can turn into whatever you want to right now. I think like a wolf is probably one of the big ones that you can turn into currently.
So Elle is haunched over in the corner and nobody can see her except
And she doesn't want you to see because the transformation looks brutal. Bones
Oh.
cracking,
Except all of a
skin
sudden,
splitting.
Gross.
all of a sudden, Svayo can see a large black tail starting to come in his peripheral. And he starts to hear a little bit of panting and some bones crunching and muscle stretching. And he kind of looks to his left and he realizes that El has transformed into a panther. Motherfucking big old black panther.
Get it, girl.
Sorry, girl, still not doing it for me.
I'm gonna double check your work here just as a quick.
Yeah, it's a good idea at
making
this point.
sure, because
She can't be trusted.
Text him the stat block.
nope, you're good. You're absolutely good. That is absolutely fine. Because you can only turn into things CR a quarter and lower. Panther is that.
I'm aware.
Okay, perfect.
Ella's a very good girl.
Keep her honest.
Perfect,
Okay.
perfect.
So we hear all this noise, and she's transforming over here and stuff.
Mhm.
I've been calling out to the party about an ogre ahead, but so do you all have a game plan for what our plan is? If we come across an ogre here.
Chop it down.
I'm holding my plan right here.
Okay,
He's not holding his dick. He's actually holding his axe.
yeah, I'll follow your lead, Bruno.
You guys round the corner, and as the thumping is getting louder, you see a couple things. You see this large cavern open up in front of you. A bonfire, crackling light lights the room, and you can see straight in front of you, Bruno, a big stone throne. Now, next to that, on his
Are we supposed to be able to see this?
not yet.
Okay.
Next to that, on his hands and knees, trying to bust his way into a door designed for medium-sized creatures,
Good.
is a large, full-bellied ogre.
Wonderful.
Bum, bum, bum.
And the other thing you see, so he's trying to smash his way into this place, but you notice when ogres are huge and dumb, big martial classes, this guy has some weird rippling purple energy coming off of him. And as he pulls his arm out of the doorway to meet you, you notice he's been smashing his arm so hard into this doorway, trying to grab something inside, that skin is ripped from muscle on one of his arms, and purple energy ripples off of the skin that's kind of hanging off of one of his arms. The other thing you notice is, as if it were meant to be a meal, a cow standing right there. Big red Highland cow with big long red fur hanging off of it. You also notice, though it is kind of can move around wherever it wants, it's just standing there with a long branch tied long ways across it, as if someone was going to put it over a spit, but they have not yet.
Well, I'm gonna save that cow.
And go ahead and roll initiative, everybody. Before you do that, let me make sure that I've cleared initiative. Actually, I haven't, but that's okay, because everyone can just change their initiative when they roll it.
So at this point, he's definitely aware of us, though.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, he stands up, notices you, lets out a terrifying roar, but the roar is echoed with undertones, sounding like multiple ogres are roaring at once, some higher, some lower. It echoes down the halls, and is a little frightening. It's scary, guys. So,
It must be Grumble the Mighty.
Grundle.
he gets that. So go ahead and... Has everyone changed their initiative in the order?
I changed
For some reason,
mine.
Michelle can't edit hers. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on here.
It's because she can't be trusted.
Elle can edit hers.
Cheaters don't get to do it.
What's the initiative for Elle?
It looks like she rolled 5.
Okay, and I don't see.
Oh, I was clicking on Grid
What?
picture. That's why.
I don't
Wow.
see Grindel's roll.
Outside. Go outside. Go outside. Go potty. Go outside. Go outside.
Let's all go outside and go potty.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Grindel, roll initiative for me.
I already did,
Where?
and I got a 10.
You
Sure.
rolled a d10.
I mean, the honor system?
No? Oh, did I? Oopsies.
Your dex
that's a
bonus
D10.
is what you add
So
to
you
it.
did get max. Just on a d10.
Well, fuck. I don't want to do that.
Let's go with the 10.
We're going with the 9 plus whatever your dex mod is.
Oh, my dex mod? Oh, shit. Oh, I'm so sorry. I suck.
That's all right. We'll all get more comfortable as we go.
2.
So it's an 11. I got it for you.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Descending. Kenzuyachi, first on the go.
This is what I can see right now, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna go here. Hold on, let me do some math just so I know. 5, 10, 15 feet.
Yeah. Another thing you notice as you kind of come there is bodies littered across the floor. Not goblin bodies either, humanoid bodies.
Oh.
Hey, just in case it's not intentional, we aren't exposed to this area at all yet. I don't know if it's still layers issues, but we don't see anything on the screen in front of Kenzo.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Oh! That is an issue.
Okay. I figured it was probably unintentional, but
How's that?
oh shit, there he is.
There we go.
I told Matt I thought you said we could see the cow.
Oh, he's so
Yes.
He's
No
like-
wonder my big reveal wasn't met with more gasps.
Yeah, that guy's spooky looking.
That cow's got a sweet haircut going on there, though.
Yeah, zoom in on that cow. How nice
Yeah.
it looks. So yeah, now you can see bodies. There's an orc, 2 humans, and a Goliath. Are the bodies you clock?
Okay, Kenzo's going to, so that was 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's going to go up to the cow, and he's going to act like he's going to, I don't know, kill it, push it in the fire or something. But he's actually readying up the dodge action in case Homeboys decides to do something.
Perfect. Taking the dodge action, which gives the homeboy disadvantage on attack rolls against you. Is
I
that correct?
believe...
I can tell you. I can read it right here. Until the start of your next turn, any attack roll made against you has disadvantage
If you can see.
the attacker. And you make dexterity saving throws with advantage. You lose the benefit if you die, which makes sense.
Okay, yep.
All right. Dodge action. Bruna.
Alright, let's see what we're gonna do here. I'm going to double move here and this body, what does this body look like?
That is a human, probably some sort of merc, wearing light armor, but probably scraped together from what they could afford.
Probably, am I gonna assume that's Grumble, the Mighty, who wrote that letter that Half-Elf was carrying?
You could assume that one of these might be Grumble the Mighty.
Is there another body over here? Oh yeah, I walked past this first one back here. Okay.
Yep. There's 4 bodies.
All right. And he calls out to the ogre. This one is for Grumble, and this one is for Half. And he goes into a rage.
Hell yeah. Hell yes. And it's going to be Grindel's turn, but not before, 1, she reconnects. And 2, I might have to go get her real quick. Hold on. actually want her connected for this. Let me see what's going on. I'll be right back.
Kind of meander up to Grendel. You all right there, girl?
I feel like Cody froze too. Cody, are you there? Or are you just looking down still?
I'm here.
Fine.
Did it look like I was frozen?
I don't know if it was an actual like I'm looking at some shit or I'm stuck.
Okay.
What happened?
What happened when?
Where are we?
Where are we? Okay. So Bruno ran up, realized that these corpses are probably the people who sent the note, and got very angry about it. He's heated. And before it becomes Grendel's turn, the ogre is going to take a legendary action.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No.
So the ogre, kind of you see, it's kind of not even with his will. He has control over a giant great club in one of his hands, but his other arm, the one that has skin ripped apart, you can see the muscle, kind of flips up in the air. No one can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hear you?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone can hear me but you.
I can't hear him at all.
I
You
can
can't
hear you.
hear me at all. Can you see me? Can you see me?
Can you hear me now?
I'm
Oh,
sorry, you
do
guys.
want
I don't
roll
know
20?
what's wrong with
It's
my
fine.
stuff. I can see you guys just fine.
You can't hear any of us?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Now
I can
can't
hear
see
you and I can
Grendel.
see you, but Jake's like completely gone.
Tell her to refresh.
Yeah, I just refresh it. We've had random issues like that before. We just refresh them.
Be right back.
Deal.
Katie, did you refresh your browser?
I did already.
Oh. Usually you like drop out and then come back when you do it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Did I not?
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah. I still don't have her. Might have to be that I refresh.
We're in the house.
Oh, no,
guys.
she's refreshing now. I can see it. No.
Cody!
Wait, now? Yeah, now Jake's gone.
Jenny misses you too.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Never been
Is that
happier.
okay?
Katie, can you hear me?
Oh,
Okay.
shit. We're all
Everyone
good.
can see and hear everyone.
We're all here.
All right. The ogre takes a legendary action. As he turns his head, you can see purple kind of flickering off of his eyes, and he whips his arm up, and out of his outstretched arm, some magic missiles fire. So it is going to try and hit. Oh, they're auto hits because it's magic missile. Bruno, Kenzo, and down the hall to Grendel. Everyone is going to take a D4 plus 1 force damage. This is force damage.
Does my dodge action do anything to that or no?
No, because
I literally
he's not
don't know.
making an attack roll.
Okay, gotcha.
So it is 4 damage to Bruno, Kenzo, and Grendel. You all take 4 damage. And Grendel, it is your turn. So that's his legendary action. Involuntarily, his arm has seemed to move on its own and cast a spell, which is something that ogres are not known for.
Okay. I'm still pretty far away. Sky, I swear. I'm still pretty far away from him, so I can't shoot at him, can I?
Not from here, but you can move and shoot.
Move and
Just
shoot?
move into the room.
Yep. You have
You have
a
so much.
move action, an action, and a bonus action.
Okay, so I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to shoot at him.
Can I suggest something?
Yes.
This is definitely a boss fight.
Yeah. Do you want me to use Hunter's Mark?
That
It would be
marker
a
out.
good idea to do Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and point at him and put my Hunter's Mark on him.
Can you only do
And-
100 marks so many times a day? Is that
That's
what
what
you're getting at?
Like we rusted.
We rested.
Yeah.
She doesn't get her spells back, but she can only do Hunter's Mark so many times a day.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
I think she has one more that she can do, right?
Sure.
How many
I was-
first
yeah.
level spell slots do you have, Katie? It's on the second page of your character sheet.
I have 2.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
I
you can
have-
do.
Fog cloud too.
Yes.
Frog Cloud sounds way
But-
better.
Where's she get this over?
You have
Alright.
those 2 spells, so Hunter's Mark is a good one to use. You're out of spell slots now. But you do an extra d6 when you hit this guy.
Okay,
No.
can I shoot at him now, or can I not?
For sure you can shoot. So go ahead and
Okay.
make an attack roll.
So it's my d20 plus 6,
Correct.
and then another 6 on top of that because of Hunter's Mark.
That's only the damage.
Damn it. Okay.
But you hit.
24.
You hit.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Alright,
So
now-
it's a d10 plus your dex modifier for damage.
So plus 2.
Maybe plus another 2. Let me double check one thing.
Add another 2.
Tell me you swap now.
Shoes are awesome.
Because you have archery. I don't know if that's just to your attack. Archery. Okay. Why don't I just do this? Give me 1 second. Go ahead and roll that extra d6 as well.
Josh, is that your bottoms up robe?
No, I didn't get a bottoms up rub.
Me either.
Well, to be fair, I also didn't want one.
No, it's just attack rolls. So you do a total of 6
Wear
damage.
it just for us.
Cool.
Hey, damage is damage. And you'll find that out.
Right, every little bit helps.
Every bit.
Especially in a goddamn boss fight where an ogre shoots a magic fucking missile.
I'm switch hitting this time, I can tell you that. Well, left hand from here.
All right, that is Grendel's turn. Svayo, and your Hunter's Mark stays on him, by the way. Just remember that. Your Hunter's Mark stays on for a certain number of rounds.
And I don't know Hunter's Mark. Does that affect us at all, or is it just for her?
No, it's just for her. She gains the ability to track it better and deal more damage to it.
So I was kind of, I don't know if you were seeing, I was kind of measuring stuff out. Do the measurements come into factor like around this corner here, or is it basically a straight shot 30 feet, like I can get here? Or do I need to come up and over?
You need to come up and over. So it's, yeah. In that case, I would use the squares to kind of help guide you.
Okay, so I can basically go 6 squares, like a 1, 2, 3, well, just a little bit. But I can get from basically here.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
all
You
right.
can stand on that corpse
Okay,
or over it.
so at first when he's back here and he just kind of sees weird shit going on and all of a sudden sees Grindel get hit by a magic missile, he's like, what the hell? Svalia runs around the corner, bolts up here, sees the ogre. With a bonus action, he does a little change-o presto, fuck you ogre, and we're going to cast Hex on it. I think that was on my sheet, but
Hell yes.
drop it in. Okay, so I'm going to cast Hex. I don't think he even gets to save against that. I think he just gets it. We're going to pick Dex as his ability that he's disadvantaged on.
Yeah.
And then, since I've learned that left hand is apparently where it's at, Spy is going to cock back, get a little big purple glow going on the left. Or, you know what, let's go with your approach. I like that. The right glow in the hand here, toss it over, and fling an Eldritch Blast forward at the ogre here.
Heck yeah.
20 plus 5.
That is a hit.
Woo!
Heck
Okay.
yeah. You're a lefty.
I'm a lefty.
At least
It's
when
gonna
it comes
be-
to magic.
1d10 plus 3. So
You are a southpaw.
I'm going to go southpaw stance from here.
Hell
Okay, so we roll that. And then also the Hex is going to be 1d6 of necrotic damage.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's big boy damage right there. Heck
Big boy damage.
11 damage total. As you blast across the room, your magic meets with his magic, and you notice it blasts him, but it kind of like, right before it blasts him, they kind of like wisp and fuse together, and you can tell, just kind of looking at it, the two purples are very similar in their hue, but the Eldritch Blast busts through that short little rainbow array that you see, and does that full damage to him. And it is his turn. So he is going to boop, boop, boop.
Come at me, Fanny.
A big
He's
boy.
going to attack Bruno with a dice roller. Ooh. Ooh.
Woo!
You hate to see it, folks. He smashes the stairs on this platform and smashes just left of you. You kind of slip to the right, and boof, right in the middle of these stairs, a giant crater forms, just busting up stonework. And that is his turn. It is Elle Woods, Panther extraordinaire.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Excuse me, jeez.
A movement.
My climbing is 40 and my speed is 50, so I am going to. Wait. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 30.
Oh, you just get there.
45.
Yeah.
So I reach about here and I bounce off the wall
You can actually make it one square higher.
and bite him.
I think she's
You
trying to
were-
see if she can get to where she's at and then use the wall as like a jump pounce to him.
Well,
For flavor, for sure, but you can make it all the way. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, there's snap points. How the hell did you do that?
that's super fucking cool.
Oh, there's snap to corner. Okay.
And I slug.
I'm actually holding and right-clicking on the squares, and that
Nice. Okay.
creates a little ball. So you can make it there in 50 feet.
I was more concerned about the crumbling steps in that last step.
And that's
So.
just
That's flavor.
Well, my flavor is I stop where I'm at and bounce off the wall and bite him right in the jugular.
Absolutely. When you do that, I will require that you end your turn in a space where, unflavor-wise, you could have hit him. But for sure, you guys haven't seen this panther before. It was a little black cat. It got a lot bigger, and it just barrels through this mine shaft, past Vayo, past Grendel, kind of like Kenzo was doing, kind of using the wall to bounce back and forth between the wall and the ground. Gets up there, bounces across it, and go ahead and roll me an attack roll. So it is a +4 to hit, so a d20 +4. Unless you're trying to bite it.
Tram. Where'd it go?
Oh, shoot. Can I give you a tip?
Yeah. Just the tip, though.
Just the tip, though. Unfortunately. Wait, is it the first one, the 16?
Yeah, I think she double clicked.
That's perfect. That works. So you can choose to do your bite if you want, but the panther has an ability called Pounce, where if the panther moves at least 20 feet straight toward a creature, which... you weren't doing. That's fine. Never mind. Go ahead and
Actually, that was part of my thought process, and I dropped it off, so I'm glad you went back to it, but you're right, I rounded the corner. Like, maybe from the corner to straight to him, but I kind of...
Is it straight from, like, the origin, or just straight, like a straight line? But even here, she broke it up.
As long as the end of it is 20 feet straight forward, but that right there is the part that curves.
That'd be like 15, though.
Yeah,
So,
that's
Gotcha.
the part that curves right at the end. So unfortunately, that turns it off. But go ahead and remember that for next time because you can knock people prone.
no, I was trying to do that, but I wasn't smart enough. So
No, that's
you couldn't have here anyways.
yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do that this round and still attack him.
the math is going to be my biggest. Anyway.
No, you're fine. So a 16 does damage. Go ahead and roll a d6 plus 2 for your bite attack.
Correct.
5 damage as you leap up, pound across this thing, leap up, jump in the air, and bite the kind of shoulder right next to his neck of this ogre. He grabs you and throws you back into the space in front of him, and you land on your feet like a cat.
And as a bonus action, can I use my teleport from my Balm of the Summer Court and jump back 20 feet?
Oh shit, I think the answer to that is yes. Hold on.
Base step would be.
Based on.
Is this your Eladrin ability?
Correct.
I think it's any like half elf, elf kind of thing, but yeah, she can teleport 30 feet as a bonus action.
Yeah. What?
So here's the deal, though, because of your current season, there's a bonus attributed to that. And she still was she autumn, I think.
Yeah. Let me look up what the. I'm not even on the right thing. This is where is Elf Races D&D
Might not
Beyond?
wanna wait.
Show me Eladrin, please. Elf name subraces. Let me see Eladrin. Maybe I spelled Eladrin wrong.
ELADRIN.
That's how I spelled it. Why can't I find Eladrin in 5e? There it is. So you can Phase step as a bonus action. You magically teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. So within 30 feet of where you are now, decide where you want to teleport. Oh, okay. And of the Autumn Court, he has to make a Wisdom saving throw. What is the DC? If the effect requires 8 plus your proficiency bonus. What's your charisma modifier?
Oh, I think I'm a panther, so it's fine.
It keeps your charisma.
Really?
Yep.
I think she uses the creature stat block.
You use the creature stat block for strength, dex, and con.
Oh, okay. She's -1.
Perfect. So it has a DC 9 wisdom save to make.
Oh, sorry, it was wisdom. I thought you said charisma.
No, it is charisma. He
Okay.
has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha.
And if he fails, he will be charmed.
Hey.
So this is a very important roll. Charm is a giant effect. I'm going to tell you right now, he has a -2 to this roll. So he has to roll a 11 or above to get this. The total has to be 9, below 9 for him to fail. So it has to be 9 or higher for him to pass. Are we ready?
Oh!
You're very charming,
Let's
kitty.
go.
Yeah, now I have to look up exactly what Charm does. Hold on. Actually, I think it's in my doodaddy. So here is what happens.
So, like, if the ogre takes damage from one of us, I think it's automatically knocked out.
Go lay down.
And L can tell it to do things as long as they're not, like, self-harming. Otherwise, it gets to, like, I think it either breaks it or it gets to try to break the charm if it's, like, self-harming. I think it just automatically breaks it.
So according to this, a charmed creature, it singularly can't attack L.
Ah.
Or affect her with harmful abilities, which it probably would have done. And the charmer has advantage on ability checks to interact socially with the creature. So that probably won't happen. You're probably not going to try and interact with it socially, unless you are. But it cannot attack L, which is fantastic. So yeah, you see this panther run up, jump past you, Bruno, and bite this ogre right on the neck. The ogre grabs it, throws it down, but before the cat hits the ground, it disappears, and in its place is a swirl of brown, green leaves that smell kind of like pineapple. And the ogre gets a whiff and goes,
I love that.
and it is Kenzo's turn.
Kenzo smells pineapple and jumps to action. He goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And he beats up on some ogre.
Heck yes.
He's going to flurry of blows, so it's going to be 3 attacks.
And
they're all +5, so that's a 16, an 11, and a 10.
And I've decided flanking adds +1 to those attacks.
Okay, so a 17, a 12, and an 11.
17, 12, and 11. All of those hit.
Okay, so it's going to be... all of these are +3? So 9, 7, 6, which is 22.
And you open up on him with fists or with your bow?
So quarterstaff for the first hit, kind of like jabs him in the back, right in the armpit, trying to like kind of fuck with him a little bit, you know what I mean? And it delivers 2 quick jabs to the back of his calf.
Heck yes. You are behind him. You deliver a quick jab right up into an area that is in his armpit that has been stripped of flesh, just right up into the muscle, and you see him like bend over and just right to the calves. Boom, boom. And he almost shaking. He almost falls to his knees, but does not. That is a lot of damage.
Pineapple's
and
a strong smell.
He's going to use his legendary action. Instinctively, his arm flails around and throws 3 more magic missiles. 2 at Kenzo, 1 at Bruno.
Oof.
So that is D-Force +1. So 2 Bruno, boop, boop, and 1 Kenzo, boop. So Bruno takes 3 plus 5 is 8 damage. Kenzo takes 8 damage because he got 2, and Bruno takes 3 damage. Force damage, if that matters for your barbarian junk. But it is then Bruno's turn, and Bruno, you're muted.
Oh, I was saying that I take half damage from bludgeoning.
Not force
So,
yet.
not force, okay. Making sure.
Unfortunately.
All right, I'm in a rage, so I'm going to roll to attack. I'm going to attack with all the reckless fury that I have in me. Oh, thank God I get to roll twice.
Whew. You get to roll twice because...
I'm enraged and using my reckless attack.
Oh, so you get advantage.
Yes.
Thank God you get
attack
advantage.
roll. I also get disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Correct.
Hashtag never forget.
You go to swing your axe and you imagine it falling on the ground and not hitting anything and you dropping it, and that makes you so angry that you do definitely hit this thing.
7 damage.
7 damage. Do you get any bust to that from raging or anything?
It goes up by 2, so I normally a +3. I'm a +5.
Is a low roll, but that's okay.
Yeah, on a D12.
You definitely rake more into the armpit that has been hit and kind of split some of the skin on his side.
Good.
So -7. He is not looking great, gang. Not great at all. He might not see a next turn.
Ew.
Grendel, you have a hunter's mark on this bad boy.
Finish him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my arrow at him, which is a D20
Mm-hmm. Plus.
Plus 6.
Correct.
Oh.
Hit for sure.
Yeet.
Go ahead
Cool.
and roll some damage. That's
Which
D10 plus. I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
a D10 plus 6 still?
Nope.
No.
It's
Two?
your dex mod. So you don't add your proficiency bonus to damage. I'm pretty sure.
You do not.
Okay, yes. You add your dex mod, which is your
Okay,
that
so
you hit.
plus 2.
So a D10 plus 2, and then also what else?
And then I get another roll, or yeah, I get a D6,
Correct.
but with not plus anything.
Correct.
That's not too bad. Maybe.
This thing had 8 hit points left,
Oh.
Oh.
and you did exactly 8 damage. How do you do this?
You said he had like Bruno like tore some more out of his arm, right?
Absolutely, I did.
So I went and I took the crossbow and just launched it right into his armpit, so it impaled through his ribs and hit his heart, and he just collapsed.
Nice.
Absolutely. Seeing your advantage, Bruno, this flashes before your eyes in a rage. You rake straight into this thing's side, kind of splitting muscle, and you can almost see its rib cage. And no sooner than your axe has left the skin of this ogre, arrow straight through the ribs, right into the heart. The ogre falls forward. Bruno, you have to take a step back real quick as the ogre falls forward right onto its face.
Awesome.
And that is a dead ogre.
Kenzo's standing there, action posed. A lot of blood. Kenzo doesn't
And
look
it
so
is-
good.
An emptied Bone Lord's Cavern.
Now let's save the cow.
I know. Can he be our pet?
Smile Eldridge blast the cow right in the face.
Grendel, you walk up to this cow and cut the log that was going to be its holster onto the spit that it was about to go on. Full cow, not even cutting it up. The ogre just was going to put a full cow on top of this giant bonfire. You cut that off, and the cow looks at you. Its eyes kind of shimmer, and it just
Aww.
licks you across the face.
Oh, Jesus.
Brew?
Beautiful cow.
Panther is shocked that this ogre was smart enough or felt it necessary to cook the cow before annihilating it.
You also, looking at it, get the idea that this wasn't the only cow here.
We could all have pet cows.
Oh, there aren't any more living cows here.
While everyone's in the
Aw.
hippie love fest, I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna shake this ogre down. I'm gonna start filing through his pockets here, his little loincloth.
Absolutely.
You're just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Filing through his pockets, you find yourself 3 javelins that are large size. So for you, they would be spears. And a great club made for a large size creature.
Kenzo takes a
you
nap.
also
Picks up the club, he starts waving around. He's like, "Holy shit! Look at this thing! Who the hell even can wield this bad boy?" I try to hand it to Bruno.
Sorry, what is it?
It's a great club made for a large size creature.
Nice. It really tries to hold it, but it's really fucking heavy.
It's super heavy, super wobbly. You could probably make a couple attacks with it, but not as good as you could with your axe.
I seem to
For
still be
sure.
tired with it.
As you look around this room, a couple things you notice. One, not really an important connection, but the red hairs on this Highland cow match the red hairs on that pile of meat you found earlier.
There we go.
And then Bruno, you're really trying to avenge Grumble, and you notice there's an orc laying here with kind of a leather jerkin, and on the back of it is sewed in Grumble.
Oh, Grumble. I hardly knew ye.
Grumble the Mighty, actually, but the G on it is backwards.
He tagged it Grumble the Mighty in his clothes.
Absolutely.
Outstanding.
He wanted everyone to know how mighty he was.
Yeah.
Just because we're running pretty close to time, I'm going to zip you through here. You go, there is a back door here, right there, that the ogre was trying to get through. Upon entering that area, checking for traps and all that good stuff, you find a small, that didn't reveal it for you. I can already tell.
Oh, we did build a room.
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
So there was nothing interesting on that other body that we jumped over?
Yep.
Oh, weird. Okay. In there is a chest, a large silver greatsword laying on the table, a small bedroom, and the chest sitting there looks like it's been kind of like tapped and touched and smashed and clawed against by an ogre hand.
Spojo, can you detect some magic in this room?
So I think it's still active, so once I get my check here from you, Dice Daddy here, I'll let him know.
Yeah, even if it's not, I'll let you know. You feel a strong aura coming from that chest.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think there is something from that chest over there.
Grindel, as you move, the cow is following you.
Great.
Won't
Just
leave
what we need. Hey, Grendel, you're bringing home dinner for the next few nights.
Don't you dare eat that cow.
I'm just waiting on Elle's panther instincts to kick in and just maul the fuck out of this thing.
I'm making panther-sized biscuits on this fucking web bed.
Oh, heck yeah. It's not even a web bed. That's different types of furs. Like, it's a lavish bed. Probably was the Bone Lord's bed. You can tell because on the nightstand, there's a couple bones.
Classic Bone Lord.
Classic Bone Lord.
So we're gonna find his diary or his autobiography. My life as the Bone Lord.
Kenzo can't help himself. He hops in bed with the cat and tries to take a nap.
Elle has her panther claws out and is clawing at the bed and smelling the deep kitty smells. The mouth open. Smelling shit.
Hell yeah.
Does anybody want the silver longsword?
So you say silver?
It's a silver greatsword, so it's
Silver
a two-hander.
greatsword.
Yeah.
We should hold on to that.
Because if somebody wants it, I can have it, but it wouldn't be bad to have me wield it if we came across something weak against it.
All right, Bruno, you hold on to it, but if you ever want to get rid of it, you let me know.
You got it, brother.
Yeah. You slap this silver greatsword across your back right next to your axe. It feels like you're starting your own little armory. Feels good.
While we're having this conversation, I pull out, we found a silver dagger earlier, so I kind of pull it out and, hey, does anybody want this silver dagger? Does anybody else can use this?
Yeah, I'll take it if you're offering it.
All right, I'll toss it to Kenzo while I open the chest in front of me here.
Kenzo, you grab this dagger after he tossed it to you. It's light, perfectly balanced, flips between your fingers really well. And you pop open this chest. Inside, you find two things. One, a bag of 50 gold pieces, marked with a GM on it. And you also find a cup. The cup is silver with gold inlaid trees wrapping around it. The base of the tree and the roots starts at the bottom of the goblet. and it wraps around the silver stem, and the leaves kind of bloom up near the top of the cup. You're getting strong magic aura from it.
Okay. Since I'm the one that kind of digging through here, and I tell the party what I'm coming across as I find it. Spalio's gonna pick up the gold cup, and he's like, "Hey guys, I know someone that might be interested in this thing. Do you mind if I hold on to this?"
Works for me.
Looking at it, you can figure out what type of magic this is and possibly what it does.
Okay.
If you
Yeah, I'll inspect it deeper.
go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
Arcana +2. Okay.
Yeah, you get with that, you get a hint of something deep and strong and powerful buried deep, deep, deep into the cup. As deep as it could go, theoretically, with it still being a cup. But there's another surface level magic, much lighter and more applicable. On the cup, you find that this is a goblet of deception.
Or do
Dun,
you?
dun, dun.
Did that show to people? No, it
It
didn't.
did not.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hold
I
on.
like the sound of this though.
Boom.
Ooh.
Oh, it's pretty.
Can you send me the Amazon link for that?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
Seriously.
Oh, okay. So we drink out of it. We don't get people drink out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Who has,
If you're
what's
drinking
everybody's
from the
deception?
goblet,
I have a +0 deception.
I have +5.
Nice.
I think I have a
Okay.
-1.
I have like, yeah, I'm like negative
So
1.
just because I was gonna do this anyways, I was gonna pour some liquor in there and drink out of it, just for the hell of it. Spalio's like, "Oh, sweet!" He pours a little liquor out of his flask and drinks out of it. He's like, "I think this is my new cup."
yeah, and I would
We
say
all
roll a
believe you.
deception roll, but I don't think he's I don't think he's lying about it.
I'm being pretty transparent.
Yeah. So
Bruno's
yeah,
going
if
to
you
equip the great sword and sheath his axe, by the way.
perfect.
Silver's
if you're
your
drinking
color,
from the
Bruno.
goblet, you have advantage on deception rolls. Though I will say, people, just as a forewarning for a real world where magic exists, anyone who can detect any sort of magic will possibly know that has the ability to know that it's magic, and you drinking from it, they might be able to tell that something's going on.
Okay.
Just
So you gotta
letting
be sly.
yeah, letting you know. Some people might not,
Use your sleight
and
of
some
hand.
people might not check. But I just want to preface that for the future. If you drink out of it and I punish you for it, it's a real world where people exist, and there's a lot of magic in the world. So people are gonna, if
It's
you're
just
sitting
like
in,
It's like my bracelet flask.
yeah. Well, if you're mainly, I bring it up so that I can pretty much say if you're using it in senses other than where there would be food and drink available, people might think you're a little weird for saying
Just all of a
something
sudden.
outlandish and then drinking from a cup.
Trying to stay hydrated, self-care.
Exactly. So that's all I got for you. You cleared out the Bone Lord's Tavern, or Bone Lord's Cavern.
We're gonna turn
From
it into
here,
a tavern.
We're going to head back. Is that what you got for the? Yeah.
So yeah, so I threw out kind of our inventory, what we looted today for the. Although I don't know if I should separate because they're marked GM for some reason. So
I will remind you that in the notes section, I have a section listed loot pile that all players can edit.
okay.
So if you wanted to throw that into the loot pile, like copy pasta it.
I see a 10 gold baby. Oh, does that just mean 10 gold?
Yeah,
Yes,
10.
I thought it was
10
a
gold babies,
baby that was worth 10 gold. I was like,
You guys
"Aw."
actually paid the adoption fees on
Yeah.
a baby.
You're my father and
Oh.
It's a white baby, so it's not worth much.
Aw.
But it does have 3 dads and 2 moms.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Sorry, if you recorded this, Fine, I'm never gonna be president anyway.
I mean, we did kind of kill the goblin president in this game, so.
See.
He wasn't
Oh, yeah.
taken
Oh,
enough.
the goblin baby.
The loot pile.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, hints aside, the GM pile should probably be marked separate for whatever reason. 11-4.
The GM pile.
Just put GM before or after it.
The gold was marked GM.
Someone do me an investigation check.
Exactly. See.
Okay, since I picked it out, I'll go ahead and investigate. 20 plus 2. Oh, did it do it already?
Yep, it got it. With those scores, you notice that the GM is printed on the bag, not the gold itself.
Oh.
And the reason it's printed GM on the bag is because it probably belonged to Grumble the Mighty.
Grumble.
Oh, that's right.
It may have been what he was paid for this job.
Since Bruno's so attached to this guy, you know, just through like camaraderie, I'm not going to point that out to him. I'm like, oh yeah, tuck that in.
I took Grumble's tunic off his body.
Yeah, it's just gold, man. That's
Yeah.
what it's gold, man.
Gold, man.
It's gold, man.
Before we leave here and wrap up for the night, is there anything identifying either of the other two bodies that I could take with me?
The other ones, not. They just kind of are wearing armor. They're. I mean, you could probably a couple of them have tattoos that you could probably carve off. If you're that.
I'm gonna carve them off. I'm gonna memorize them.
Hey, Bruno, that's a nice tattoo. Will you grab it for me?
I cut it off and I put it on me. Slap it
This is
on.
my tattoo now.
I'm
Skin
gonna
grabs.
remember it because I'm gonna ask her when we get to the next town. I'm gonna see, because Bruno really believes in laying people to rest, so he wants to bring back something or at least give people awareness that these people are gone.
Absolutely. Well, and depending on how much Bruno believes in that, you also have, you know, the cavern is empty. You've cleared it. You have time to give these guys a proper burial if you want to do something like that, or send them to Valhalla through the fire or whatever you want.
And if we shortcut the whole investigation, all that, like, there's no more loot left for us to kind of ascertain here.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct. You get, I'll say you get an additional like 10 gold off of probably the stuff, but I don't want to tell you what the stuff is because it doesn't matter that much. Like each of these adventurers has a few weapons. Just throw an additional 10 gold in there for what you would get from selling those.
Okay. Well, if anyone cares to check, I am updating the loot pile right now. Then
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
we have 74 GP, so we're stacking it pretty good.
Heck
Nice.
yeah. Yeah, so that's it, everybody. You're rolling in ducats. You cleared the Bone Lord's Cavern, which is your first step onto becoming real heroes of splendor.
And you leveled up. Oh.
You do level up. Everybody levels up. Everyone levels up. And I will say, Grendel, at this level, being a ranger, gets an animal companion.
That
I did.
I wonder what it'll be.
cow.
It's Basil.
It's
It's not a red-haired cow.
Aw. Can I keep the cow?
Only if it's your companion.
yes.
No, I don't. I want the wolf.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. So yeah.
I guess I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right, see you then.
Thanks for the game, guys.
All right, homies.
Sounds good.
It was
2
great.
weeks, everybody. See you then.
Later, dogs.
Thank you and good
Yeah.
night.